Ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. The ratio A to B, where B is not 0, can be written as A to B like this. Shh, we're quiet and we're paying attention. You're not going to have any time to work on your homework if you don't stop talking and pay attention. Okay, so A colon B, so A to B, or it can be written as a fraction, so A over B. That's why B cannot be 0. So, example 1, there are 24 students in class, 6 of them are girls. For letter A, we want to write a ratio of girls to boys. Okay, so girls to boys. That means we need to find out how many boys are in the class. Well, if there's a total of 24 students and 6 are girls, we'll subtract the 6 girls. So there are 18 boys. So to write out that ratio, we'd have our girls, which is 6, to boys, which is 18. Now I do want you to reduce that ratio. So if I have 6 over 18, both of those numbers divide by 6. So that would be 1 to 3. Okay, then in letter B, we want to write the ratio of boys to the total class. Okay, so again we have 18. And then your total class number is 24. And again, you do want to reduce that ratio. Okay, both of those divide by 6. It is 3 over 4.
Wow.
Okay, so that's just writing out that ratio.
Yes.
Example 2. In 2014, the Milwaukee Brewers baseball team won 82 games out of 162 games played. Write a ratio for the number of games won to the total number of games played. So we need our games won, which was 82. To the total number played, well, our total number played is 162. So I have 82 over 162. Now again, we can reduce this. Both of these numbers divide by 2. So I have 41 over 81. The second part to this problem asks what percent of games did they win? So to find out their percent that they won, I can take their total number 1, which was 82, divide it by the number of games played, which was how our ratio went in the first place. It was 82 over 162. Okay, when I enter that into a calculator, I get 0.506. Okay, to write that as a percent, you just need to multiply that value by 100. Okay, so they won 50.6% of their games that year. Questions on this first part, writing out your ratio? All right, example 3 is a little bit different. I will give you a seating chart tomorrow. I'm real sick of the talking. Okay, example 3 says the ratio of the measures of the angles of triangle JHK is 2 to 3 to 4. So yes, you can have multiple numbers within your ratio. We want to find the measures of each angle. So the ratio that they give you here is your reduced ratio. That does not mean your angles are 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and 4 degrees. Okay, you need to multiply something back into all 3 of those numbers to see what their actual angles are. So your extended ratio of 2 to 3 to 4 can be written as 2x to 3x to 4x, because you need to multiply that same number into each of those values. Okay, next I'm just going to make a sketch of my triangle off to the side here. So we have triangle JHK. So that means one of my angles here would be 2x, another 3x, and the last one 4x. Okay, so drawing out this picture helps me set up an equation. So if I have these 3 angles, what do all 3 of those added together have to be? 180. So my equation would be 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 180. From here, I just need to solve that equation. So I'll combine my like terms here. So I get 9x is equal to 180. Divide both sides by 9. And x will be equal to 20. Now, in this problem, we wanted to find the measures of all of the angles of this triangle. So down below here, I have the angles are, I'm going to take that first part of that ratio, so 2, and I'm going to multiply that 20 back into it. Okay, so one angle is 40 degrees. Same thing with this 3. We'll have 3 times 20. That's 60 degrees. And then 4 times 20 is 80 degrees. Okay, so those would be the 3 angles within that triangle given that ratio. Okay, because if I were to set up that ratio 40 to 60 to 80, I could then reduce that ratio down to 2 to 3 to 4. Okay, so that's why we're bringing that x back into that equation. Questions on example 3? All right, the one at the bottom here, I want you to do. You're writing a ratio. Okay, so just like we did on top, read the problem, write that ratio out. All right, so in this problem at the bottom here, we wanted the ratio of home runs to the number of times he was at bat. So home runs is on top, number of times at bat is on the bottom. So he had 54 home runs out of 583 times he was up at bat. That ratio can't be reduced, so that would be your final answer. No, it's just the ratio. Okay, then looking at the back, I want you guys to do number 2 as well. So read through this problem, answer this question first, and then answer letter A as well. And then stop after that, and I'll go through number 3 with you together. So number 2. All right, so for number 2, there are 182 girls in the sophomore class of 305 students. What is the ratio of girls to total students? So that ratio would be 182 to 305. Yeah. And then, quiet please. Letter A. What is the ratio of boys to girls? So again, you were just given the girls. You'd subtract that from your total students to get the number of boys. So we would have 123 to 182 as our ratio. Okay, questions on those two? All right, then looking at number 3, it's similar to, or kind of similar to what we did before. So the length of a rectangle is 8 inches and its width is 5 inches. What is the ratio of length to width? Well, the length is 8 and the width is 5, so that ratio would be 8 to 5. Okay, now for letter A, we want the ratio of the length to the perimeter. Now if I draw in a rectangle here, and I know the length is 8 and the width is 5, I know my sides opposite are congruent since it's a rectangle. Okay? Then to find the perimeter, you're just going to add up all 4 sides. Okay, so our perimeter would be equal to 5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8. That's equal to 26. Okay, so now I can write my ratio of the length, which is 8, to the perimeter, 26. Now I can reduce this fraction. Okay, both divide by 2 to get 4 to 13. Okay, so just a refresher on how to find the perimeter. Then letter B, we want the ratio of the perimeter to the area. Okay, so to find the area this time, we're going to multiply length times width. So we'll have 5 times 8 to get 40. Okay, then writing out my ratio, I need the perimeter of 26 to the area 40. Divide by 2, you get 13 to 20. Any questions on number 3? All right. Then number 4 and 5 are similar to what we did on the front. Okay, so in number 4, it says the ratio of the sides of a triangle are 8 to 15 to 17. Now in this case, we're looking at the sides this time, not the angles. Remember, your sides added together are not 180. Okay? Only your angles in a triangle added together are 180. Okay, 180 has nothing to do with the sides. So the rest of the problem says the perimeter is 480 inches. We want to find the length of each side of this triangle. Okay, so writing out our equation, just like we did on the front, we need to bring that value or multiply it back into all 3 of those numbers in that ratio. So we'll have 8x plus 15x plus 17x. Okay, because you have to multiply that number back in. This is the most reduced form. Now, what is that going to equal if I add up all of the sides? It will equal 480. Because when you add up all the sides, that is the perimeter of that figure. So from here, I'm just going to combine like terms to get 40x is equal to 480. Divide by 40. Okay, now x equals 12, but that's not what I wanted to find. What did I want to find? I have to plug it in because I need to find the length of each side. Okay, so my lengths, I have 12 times 8. That is 96 inches. I have 12 times 15. That's 180 inches. And 12 times 17 is 204 inches. Okay, so make sure you are reading those directions. Don't just solve for x. Make sure you find the length of each side as well. Questions on number 4. All right, then I want you guys to do number 5. Okay, if you need to, make a sketch and then set up that equation and solve. It's just like the one on the front. Huh?
Good for you.
All right, going over this problem, number 5. So in this one, we're talking about the angles, okay? And my ratio is 7 to 9 to 20. And we want to find each angle of that triangle. So if I draw in this triangle here, I have 7, 9, and 20. Okay, I have to multiply that same value to all 3 back in to get my actual ratio here. So my equation would be 7x plus 9x plus 20x is equal to 180. So whenever you're talking about the angles, they will all add together to be 180. Shh, quiet please. So that's why I underlined angles and why I circled it. Okay, if you're talking about all the angles together, they do add to 180. If they were talking about the sides, they would have given you the perimeter. From here, I could just solve for x. So I have 36x equals 180. Divide by 36 and x is 5. Now I did want to find all 3 angle measures. Okay, so my angles will be 35 degrees, 45 degrees, and 100 degrees. Okay, any questions on number 5? All right, then